We've got a little project coming up. Just got back from my boot sale at Wimbledon. This is Saturday, and I picked up this fan. It only cost me £6. He wanted 10. I said, I'll give you 5, and he said 6. I said, yeah, okay. I said, I hope it works. Anyhow, I'm going to overhaul it, make sure it's all working all right. It's Chinese, but it's one of the, as far as I can make out, probably one of the better made Chinese fans. But anyhow, as we go on, I'll put the odd video in, show what the inside's like, and stages of cleaning it and that. At the moment, it is as it was got at the boot sale. It's covered in antique dust. Quickly looking over it there, I always check to see if there's anything broken, and I couldn't see anything broken, so hopefully it should be okay. It does work. I have tried it. It does work. So we'll go further and strip it down, or not strip it down, check it out, make sure it's all okay, give it a blooming good clean, and we'll see how we get on from there. Right, further on, remove the front and the back. The fan unit is out. 2 little screws that hold it in. First impressions are very good. Well made. Made to be taken apart to be cleaned, with pieces that will not break as you take them off, which I do like, I must admit. Something that can be taken apart and repaired or cleaned cannot be anything but good in my book. So much of this modern stuff is just, well, it's not made to be repaired. Anyway, I thought, well, while we got that off, we'll have a look inside to see the windings. I'm not stripping it down further than this, just tries to say that looking in, you can see the coils, and they are not burnt or anything. It's difficult to actually show it with the camera, but take my word for it, they are nice and clean. They are a lovely browny colour, what they should be, not black or cracking away, so they're okay, they're intact. Actual spindle, that's no wear there. It's got like a self-lubricating bearing, probably made of phosphor bronze. All in all, no problem, looks perfectly okay. Yeah, I changed my mind. I thought, well, while it's stripped down, we may as well take the other cover off and just see what it's like inside. And glad I did, because there's a little bit of gunge around the gear wheels, and it also gives me a chance to drop a tiny bit of oil onto the bearings. Yeah, a nice bit of 3-in-1 or something like that I do find. Don't use WD-40, you've got to use a proper oil. WD-40 is okay for cleaning stuff off, but a nice bit of fine oil on there will do fine. See, you get a much better view of the actual coils. It is, as I said before, it's, as far as I'm concerned, it's quite well made. I've got to give credit where credit's due. All the time the wires go through a little connecting block. You've got a capacitor there which aids starting and actually running the fan. What I did like about it, I'll get it going. Don't like having it on too long while the fan blades are off. There's no cooling. What I do like is the arrangement, the clutch arrangement, to alternate from side to side movement or permanently one position movement. I've never seen it done like this before. And it's done by a button there. You change the button, it comes on or not. So a little bit of fine oil, not too much, just a little bit touching on that spring, a little spring there. I'll just keep it from rusting because it's going to be used in a greenhouse. You've got like a Bowden cable there. Put a weeny amount of oil on there, just a little bit, not too much. And perhaps a little tiny bit of oil, but not, you know, just enough to just moisten it. It doesn't want to be running in oil. And all that muck there, we'll clean all that off with a fine brush. Gently brush it away. As I say, if there's any questions while I'm going through this at the end, please ask. I've never seen one like this before. When I bought it, I thought, well, it looked well made. I'm assuming it's Chinese. I haven't actually seen the words made in China on it. It may in fact be from one of the other countries round there, but it's definitely Far East. Right, we've taken the base plate off. As I said, I didn't know where it was made. I assumed it was going to be China. You can probably tell by the sound of my voice that I don't think it is China. If we have a look at the incoming mains lead, we can see it coming in, and look at the colour code. If it was China, it would be the standard code, but it's black and white, which is the one they use in America. I think Japan as well, but I'm not 100% certain on that one. They use black and white. See where it comes into. The white side, which I believe is the actual neutral side, is taken in to a timer switch. It's a little clockwork switch. You can probably just see it ticking over. There's all the information on it. I'll put it round the other way so it makes sense. That's about the only bit of English on it. This is purely a timer. You wind it up at the control at the other side, and all the while it's going, the fan is on. I'm going to look further in to see if there is a position where the fan is on permanently. I don't think there is. But anyhow, it goes into there. It comes out on a blue wire. And the blue wire goes through a fuse. So it's actually fused, which is a good thing. The name on it is, I can get it up there. It looks like Shinil. Shin with a gap in. Shin in. There's also, I think, the name on the front. We'll have a look at it as the completed job when it's all put together and working. This is, as I say, this is the 3-position switch, or 4-position, we call the on-off. Each lead goes to a different field winding on the motor. It's a synchronous motor, and this is how you vary the speed. Got 3 speeds. Over here, this is the other end of that Bowden cable, which is there to switch either from reciprocating, going backwards and forwards, or not. And if I can operate it without dropping the camera, I will certainly try to show it working. If I can't do it, I can't do it. Let's see. Don't think I see anything. There we are. By turning the switch at the other side, it just moves it over. I have put a little bit of oil on there. Also a bit of switch cleaner in the multi-switch, or also a little bit on the spade terminals. They were a bit corroded. But then I'm going to leave well alone, because these little units there, if you start tinkering about with them, you'll end up with a spring the other side of the room and all the gubbins all over the place. So just leave well alone. You'll never be able to put it back together again. I learnt that some time ago. Anyhow, that's what it looks underneath. The rear of the card, or the board which is underneath, has writing on it. I don't even know if I got it round the right way. The numbers certainly line up. So if there's anyone can read that, it'd be interested to hear what it says. Anyhow, I've ascertained, or I've worked out, we're like detectives with these things. You wonder where they're made. Often clues are on the cable. In this case, the clues on the actual cable being black and white. And the wording on the cable, because most cable does have in fact wording on it. Try and find it on there. I have found it earlier, so there we are. It's upside, there we are. Seoul, which is the other capital of Korea. The name is Votek. So there we are. The next shot we'll have it all back together and we'll show it working. There is another little feature to it which I haven't mentioned yet, which I will do. Alright, next thing to check is the actual plug. So many people have the wrong fuse rating in. Now I know in this case it doesn't really matter because the actual appliance is fused internally, but for over here we will take out the 13 amp fuse. No way does it need that, and we'll replace it with a 5 amp. Not the European, but the UK plugs are all this type. They're the ring main plugs, or 13 amp, and they can be fused from about 3 amps up to 13 amps. But in this case it definitely doesn't want a 13 amp. If we were running a 3-bar electric fire, yes. Now there's also another thing which is technically incorrect. This is how I found the plug. Now the live side, live, active, hot, whatever you like, should go through the fuse. Well, the black is normally the active wire, or the live, or the hot. So we're going to swap those round. So where the white is, we're going to put the black, and where the black is, we're going to put the white. We'll change the fuse. So that part is all done. Correctly wired up plug with the correct fuse in it. Now I must mention at this point, this actual appliance was bought at a boot sale. I don't think it was ever intended for use over here. There's only the 2 wires on it. Granted, it is a plastic case. There's no signs about double insulation or anything like that, so I would put as a disclaimer, which I think we have to be very, very careful, because we're showing things on here which may work and may be perfectly safe, but it should be mentioned that this probably, or I would say was, never intended for use over here. The other thing that's different with Korean is the actual cycles. They use 60 cycles where we use 50, so it could in some way overheat the motor. I know a microwave which I repaired once, which came from Korea, had a smaller size transformer in it, and when I put a replacement in, it was obviously an English one, and it worked okay. The one that was in there, the Korean one, being 60 cycles, overheated and would have been extremely dangerous. Anyhow, just put that in. I'm just going to tidy it all up and we'll show you the finished product. One completed fan. And it's got one other hidden feature, which I will show you what it is. I only found out by complete accident. Right, same fan, extended. It's standing on a little stool, but it's not quite the height of some of the stand-up fans, but it's not too bad. It's actually extendable. Anyhow, I spent £6 at Wimbledon. I've had quite a bit of enjoyment fiddling about with it. It's got it going, and hopefully this coming summer we should get some lovely hot weather and it'll be in plenty of use. And that's my phone ringing, so I'm going to have to go. Anyhow, thank you for watching. Any comments please leave. Anything you want to know about it, if I can possibly help you, I will. Oh, first we go, I'll give you the name. Most important. Names of these things are so important. There's the name. It's a Shinil. It looks like SIF 302SH. There's all the controls. I think at the back, before I go, I like to know the ins and outs of things, so there is a little tag at the back. Let's see what that says. Don't know whether you'll be able to see this. Not very clear, I'm afraid. It's not very clear. I do apologise. Anyhow, thanks for looking. Please subscribe, and thank you again. Thank you.